Okay, well, we had a bit of an emergency. Usually on weekends when I don't have to go to work, I come out with my coffee, check out my garden, watch for pests. Um, and I came out this morning and the cabbage moth, caterpillar worms, whatever we call them, have gotten all of my brassicas. As you can see, there's like hoops. So this was all netted, but there was one end of the netting that had like been pulled up. Um, so we've had storms the last like 3 or 4 days, and I think just in the wind, it had got pulled up, which must have been just enough for a moth to get in, lay some eggs, and start this whole cycle. And in that time, it has like been just enough time because of the storms. I haven't been out here in about 4 days. And it was enough time to just like decimate all of my brassicas. And I shouldn't say decimate because like if you're looking at it from this angle, like they look great. But they are just covered. I'm so thrown by this that I don't actually know my route of attack. I just wanted to like start recording. So a lot of this is just like processing in the moment. I think there are some that are just like done. Versus there might be, I might try to save the broccoli because they are starting to crown. And we're getting to that point where it's about to be too hot where they would bolt anyway. So I might just give them a fighting chance. But there's some other ones you'll see that are just done. So just trying to like process. There were, I think 1 or 2 of these are cabbages, and there's no way, like with the amount of leaves that are gone, there's no way that it would head up. So gonna just try to like clean this bed. I know if you've watched some of my other videos, I've been talking about like the lack of space that I have. So I'm going to just use this as an opportunity for, now I have an open bed that I wasn't expecting for another month or so, that I can put some of my green beans and cowpeas out. So we're just gonna, that's gardening, right? So we're just gonna go with it. Okay, here's a close-up of the brassica bed, and how bad you can see them, I mean really everywhere. They just decimated everything. And even if you've never had them and you're wondering if you have them, let me try to zoom in. So all those little green dark circles are all eggs. So there's a ton of like life cycles that are happening right now in this bed. But these are all, if you can see down here, I had a broccoli starting to head up. Everything that's on top of that broccoli crown, those are all eggs. So yeah, these are just destroyed. But wanted to like zoom in on things before I made like a decision on what I'm doing with this bed. But yeah, I'm really upset about it. Just like get emotionally tied to these things. Like brassicas, you start in February here in 7B. So this is something that was started in February. It's now like the last week in May, and you watched it grow, and now it's just like a crop that's gone. So it's just upsetting. But I did take this opportunity to get this old trash can that I have, and it's been on my list all year to start composting. So, you know, we're just trying to find the positive in what we can find. But yeah, like, they are just everywhere. Hi. This was also on me, but like, I don't know what brassicas are what other than like broccoli, because it's starting to crown. So like this guy, I thought was a Brussels sprout, but I don't think so because I don't see any Brussels. So he's one that's got to go. He's completely covered. So I'm going to take him out. Also, like, as I'm getting into gardening, I definitely need bigger shears than this. Yeah. It's just done. Like, every leaf. There's one. And then, if someone could tell me what these are, I actually have never had these guys before. So, like, that's not a cabbage moth. Anybody can tell me what those ones are? I'd appreciate it. Because, like, this is a cabbage moth. Okay. Here's where we ended. There were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there were 12 brassicas in here that we ended up getting rid of. I guess 11 of them because I left just this one. The only reason I left her is because there is a crown on her already. I handpicked off all of the caterpillars that I could find, and then I jet sprayed the entire thing, front and back, every leaf. And then I also, after I did that, found some on the ground, so I got them off and then sprayed again. I sprayed all of the ground. I also don't know, like, there was an area, it's probably gone now, but there was an area that was like very clearly their eggs that were just all over the soil, and I didn't know if they'd still survive, so I got rid of all of them. They have been hard to see in my monthly tours, but there still are onions here. We'll see, maybe this will at least give them some like breathing room. There's still a carnation in the middle I need to like stake, and then you can see some of these are already bulbing up, and like her neck is already broken, so I'm gonna give her a few days and then I'll just harvest her. The spinach, I need to do some research on. It looks like they didn't touch the spinach. And then I just have some like volunteer gladiolas coming up here, so I'm just gonna let them go. They probably are bulbets of this one. So yeah, as much as I'm just like devastated and upset about it, I think this will give this bed an opportunity to breathe. I'm gonna see how this one does in the next like week, and the good thing is I just will now use this bed for I have 2 more cucumbers that I had in pots that needed to go out. I also have all of my green beans need to go out, so I'm just gonna like fill this bed, which also I think will be really good for like nitrogen fixing. I did try to leave the like stubs of each of them just to not mess up all of the soil life, because I know this is probably a shock to the soil. So we're gonna go from there. I also was able to fill up almost that entire thing. I will go back in there and just like dice it up smaller, so that it can be the start of my compost bay. I know that they say brassicas are really good for composting. So we're just gonna take the positives where we can take them. Here's where we're left. Also, I forgot to end my other one, so I'm gonna add a clip in here. But thank you so much for watching. I know that as gardeners, we always are going to encounter things like this. It's okay. I hope that my growing pains at least encourage you to go out, check all of your leaves, check your brassicas for cabbage moths, and always know that like it's okay. It is a couple cabbages and a couple broccolis. It will be okay. And maybe I'm just pep talking myself, but I think that's part of the fun of growing. And thank you so much for watching and growing alongside me. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the views, and I'll see ya the next time. Bye.